podcast. I'm Satavisa. With a long array of data scattered around us, businesses are now focusing on solutions that would help them analyze those data and structure them in a proper format. It would help them solve complex business problems. To further elaborate on that, today we have with us Manas Agarwal, co founder and CEO of Affine. Hello, Manas. Welcome to Analytics Insight. It's great to have you here.
Absolutely, my pleasure being on this podcast, Satavisa. This is such an interesting topic. It's one of my passions, and I'm glad to be on the Analytics Insight podcast. A very warm good afternoon to all the listeners.
Thank you and welcome you here. I would like to know a little about Affine and please tell me what makes it unique from others.
See, Affine is a company which is into creating analytic solutions for businesses, both large and small. We work with more than 40 Fortune 500 companies globally, companies in US, companies in India, companies in Europe, and all. We work across companies in technology, e-commerce, gaming, entertainment, media, manufacturing, automotive, energy, and so many different sectors. And over the last 11 years, in fact, we completed our 11 years today. Over the last 11 years, we have been working in the analytics industry on data sciences, data engineering. We are one of the very premier partners to all the three cloud service providers, be it Microsoft Azure, AWS, and GCP. And what has been, differentiating us across the years has been our very sharp focus on developing very deep expertise in each of these areas. And when we say that we are able to build solutions that are precise and scalable and robust, we invest a lot in developing these expertise in-house. We not only have a very, very good hiring and training program, we also have dedicated centers of excellence in artificial intelligence, in machine learning, in cloud and engineering, in manufacturing, in gaming. We also have Deep Camp, the deep tech accelerator that helps us collaborate with startups. We collaborate with academic institutions. For example, we have a very strong partnership with the University of California, Berkeley. And in fact, on the 24th of this month, we are hosting a gaming conference along with them. We are in partnership with IT Bombay, IT Madras, and so on. So I think this very deep focus on developing expertise, collaborating with others, is what is differentiating us, and our customers are liking that.
That's really amazing to hear. Now, I would like to know how the company is leveraging new tech trends like AI, big data, and analytics in their operations.
See, we are fundamentally a company that has the new tech trends absorption and propagation in its DNA. In fact, Satavisa, if you notice, the company's tagline is "Command the New." We believe that new technologies will keep coming in artificial intelligence and machine learning, in data, in cloud, and we as a company need to keep absorbing that, analyze that, and present it to our customers. For example, for one of the largest online travel agencies of the world, we have created the email personalization engine. For one of the best known automotive brands in the world, a German car maker, we have created computer vision based quality analysis system. For one of the largest software companies in the world, we manage a large part of their marketing campaigns. Similarly, for one of the largest automotive part component manufacturers of the world, we do the entire automotive market forecasting. We work with one of the largest breweries of the world, helping them analyze their sales and marketing data, their operations data, and so on. So we help our customers leverage the core concepts of AI, cloud, and engineering, and create business solutions.
That's really great. You people are doing a great job.
Thank you.
And please tell me, what is the role of Affine in analytics engineering?
See, let me first try to expand the meaning of analytics engineering. So long back, when I entered the analytics industry way back in 2005-6 time frame, there used to be just a couple of softwares on which we would develop analytical algorithms, and we would deploy them on the same platform. Now, with passage of time, more new technologies are coming up where, like, Python, R, PySpark, Spark, and all, using languages like Scala, that we can develop new and better algorithms, and also the usage has increased in scale, and hence the requirement for analytics engineering, which is about uh, the engineering part of deploying analytical solutions. So the deployment happens at two ends of the spectrum. One is when I have to connect my algorithms to the data source, which is required when data scientists have to build the algorithms or they have to run the algorithm at large scale. So that is connecting to the data systems. And you would have come across concepts like data lakes, lake houses, and pipelines and data migration from on-prem to cloud and so on. So that is the data part of the engineering. There's also an application part of the engineering where you run these algorithms at real-time basis or at very, very large scale as consumable APIs or as microservices or on-demand services to be consumed by other applications. So that is the application engineering part of it, which has concepts like MLOps, DevOps, and so on. So these two ends put together become data engineering. And Affine started working on data engineering concepts almost around 5, 6 years back when we deployed a very large scale personalization engine for an online travel agency. This was almost in 2015-16 timeframe. And I'm very proud to tell you that we are one of the premier partners on data engineering for AWS and Azure, both of them.
Amazing. Thank you for explaining it so well. Now, if we are talking about risks, what are the possible early warning signals that companies should be aware of?
See, when it comes to especially using analytics to transform their business digitally, and when we talk about digital transformation, data-led decision making is just one part of it. And some of the early warnings or the early signals to any kind of a risk is when customers are not able to see a return on their investment, on their digital investment, very early on. What that would mean is probably the design or the strategy is not focused on the use cases, and hence at a later stage it may become difficult for them to realize the return on the investment. Hence, if after within the first 3 to 6 months of starting on their analytics or digital journey, if customers are not getting the ROI in a very clearly articulated manner, in easy to calculate manner, I think that's a very, very good early warning that they should pay heed to. Also, if they are seeing that the usage of all the analytical assets, of the data assets that are being created, if the usage is not very high in the initial days, that means the adoption is not really picking up well. And there's something wrong with the customer engagement, or rather the change and the stakeholder engagement within the company. And hence that could be another early signal that they should get. A third could be they need to continuously keep monitoring the performance of the analytical assets, be it the data systems or the visualization systems or data models. And again, if they see a change in the performance in short periods of time, when I say short periods of time, these are months. Within months, if you see a change in the performance from, let's say, a model accuracy going down from 80% to 70% within 3 months, that's another very, very big early sign that there is something fundamentally wrong in the way analytics has been implemented. And at that point of time, companies should definitely look at their either the digital and analytics strategy or the partners implementing them.
That sounds really interesting. Now, please give us some examples of the most difficult problems that you must have faced while working in this company, and how did you solve them?
See, I think, Satavisa, this is a very, very interesting field. We always keep getting challenged by new and new problems, and I would talk about a few of them. For example, Affine was the winner of a hackathon organized by Flipkart, where the intent was to use computer vision to understand the traffic flow, and then to optimize the signal time to reduce the kind of wait time across the board, and not have some people wait longer, some people wait shorter, and so on. Now, these are the kind of problems where they have not been solved earlier many times, and hence these are very new concepts are being used. Also, the data is not standard, clean data, not the enterprise data. Hence, even the data sources, kind of need a lot of cleaning up and all. So, new concept, new data, new solutioning. I think that became very interesting. Also, as a hackathon, the time at hand is always very limited, and hence in doing a new thing in limited time, I think that was one very interesting challenge we solved. Another interesting challenge that we have solved was for a European reinsurance company that wanted to use satellite data to understand the topography of a land. Is there a mountain? Is there a river or a forest or a dry land, or is there a lot of buildings around in that particular piece of land? And that they use to calculate the risk to any property that they are insuring or reinsuring rather. And for this particular company, we had to build models that would look at the satellite imagery or and we use the Google Maps data to simulate the model. And again, the challenge here was that uh, data was not available readily. So we had to do what is called the data annotation. Then we had to data do the building up of the data, and we also had to create algorithms which could uh, stitch together the information coming from multiple grids, because one large piece of land will not be captured in one image, right? If we are talking about a piece of land or a property which is into hundreds of acres, there we have to look at multiple image snapshots and stitch the entire panorama together and run the algorithm on that. So that was one very interesting challenge, and very interestingly, our data scientists, our AI practitioners, they were able to convert that into a product that we have called Telescope. So if you Google about Affine telescope, you'll find that on our website as well. So that was also another very interesting challenge we solved, and this is what keeps the field very interesting.
Those are some really interesting stories. Thank you for telling me that. Now, I would like to know what is your opinion on privacy and how do you think your company is dealing with it?
See, I think personally, I believe that both in personal space as well as the professional space, enterprise space, there cannot be absolutely any substitute to privacy. There cannot be any debate about whether privacy is required or not, or whether we should invest enough in ensuring privacy. We take it very seriously, both on personal information of our employees or of our partners or our customers, as well as, of course, of the enterprise data that we deal with. There's a complete enterprise-wise data security policy in place. There are regular audits done. There are surprise checks also done, because we want to make sure that from the process point of view, from the adherence point of view, and from the very culture point of view, we are very sensitive towards data privacy and security. Because I believe that there's a purpose with which that data has been generated, and the owner of the data has all the right to decide who looks at that data or not. So based on that fundamental principle, we are very serious about data privacy, and we practice that with utmost care.
Thank you for explaining that to me. Now, I would like to know how Affine is investing in the employees within the organization to meet the demands of the present as well as the future.
See, one thing that Affine has always been very proud of is that Affine has always believed in developing deep expertise, and that we ensure by providing timely and continuous feedback to the co-workers, and also enabling them to keep learning by having our own learning management system, by partnering with some of the big tech companies of the world. For example, we are very proud to be a partner with Upgrad, where we learn from and we also impart training. And not just the technical training part of it, we also conduct management trainings. We also conduct team building sessions and all. And especially during the last 2 years, we realized that employees are and people in general are going through very, very tough time mentally and emotionally and psychologically. And hence, working with some of the leading wellness providers, both on the healthcare as well as the mental health, we have been conducting sessions to keep the mental health of our employees also in good state. Our human resources or human capital management team, they do a tremendous job of keeping in touch with our employees, and especially in an environment where we are working in a distributed manner, each of us not sitting at the same location. We actually stay in constant touch with them. And what we also realized was that, we noticed that when people are working within their home settings, or when they're closer to their parents and their family, they're a little less worried about, what's going on in their lives from the healthcare point of view. And basis that, we never really kind of force them to come back to Bangalore during the interims of, the period between wave one or wave two, and wave three, and so on. And Satavisa, I'm also very, very glad to let you know that today we made a major announcement. In fact, the first public announcement is happening on your podcast here, that Affine is now the first analytics company to announce a permanent work from home. Right? We believe that people have been performing really well, even while working from home, taking the work very seriously, delivering to the best of their abilities. And hence, if we continue the work from home, it will benefit the company from productivity point of view. It'll benefit the employees from the mental health and peace perspective. And hence, we decided to take that step. And as Affine has always done, to be on the forefront of taking steps for employee welfare. So this is one such step that we have taken today.
That's a great news. Now, lastly, I would like to know what are your future plans and endeavors for Affine?
See, Affine, from a growth perspective, we are looking at multiple avenues of growth, not just along the lines of different capabilities we have. For example, we are already very, very strong on the core concepts of AI, cloud, and engineering. We call it the ACE of capabilities. We are also very strong on a few domains, like on manufacturing, which is Industry 4.0. We have started a lab in Jamshedpur, which is the industrial area, to focus on Industry 4.0. We are very strong on gaming, media, and entertainment. In fact, as I mentioned to you, we are organizing a global conference with the University of California, Berkeley on the 24th of Feb. And it's free to attend for anyone. More than glad to share the link with you also. We are also starting two more domain practices, one in CPG, another in BFSI, banking, financial services, and insurance. So both on the technical capabilities and business capabilities will grow very rapidly. And from a geography point of view, we are already present in three geographies: India, Asia Pacific, and US, and will continue building our business in these areas. From an employee location point of view, while we already have two base locations in India, which is Bangalore and Hyderabad, now that we are a boundaryless company, we are practically present in every single district of India. And we'll definitely welcome employees working from anywhere. So that's definitely going to deliver very robust growth to us.
That sounds amazing. I'm sure this is definitely going to help all of our listeners today. And thank you, Manas, for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I'm optimistically looking forward to see many more innovation solutions coming up from your side.
Absolutely has been my pleasure as well, Sadhavisa, and wishing a very, very happy and healthy 2022 to all the listeners. And thanks for inviting me to this podcast.